question. Tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are all here. Welcome to a new video. Today we have a pick a card that I am very excited to bring you and do for you guys. Over the last couple of weeks, I've really been seeing a lot to do with nature and just like the environment and global warming and all these different kind of things. And sometimes as the little people, it can feel like we can't do much, or you know, you don't want to give up all your luxuries and all these different things. And you know, we tend to blame it on the corporations, which obviously have a very big role in everything that's going on in terms of like the environment, to impact that a lot of their processes have. But we also benefit a lot from that impact and the things that they bring us, and they have become like kind of almost necessities or luxuries. So it is very hard to know what you can do as like the little guy to help the planet. And so I feel like this video is really going to be helpful for anyone who is interested in trying to figure out ways that they can really benefit the planet. I particularly like to call it Mother Gaia or Mother Earth. Those are kind of my terms that I use to speak of the kind of the energy of the planet Earth. And I do think it is ruled by a very feminine energy naturally at its core. The planet is very feminine at its core because it is all about creation, and the feminine energy creates. So I'm excited to get into this reading. We do have 4 options for you. Before I talk too much and you guys want to jump into your piles, the images that I used for the thumbnails are not the images that I've used for you guys to help choose your piles today. So make sure that you do go to the pick your image option of today's reading so that you can get the right image for you. I chose the thumbnail because it's aesthetic, and I'm a Libra rising. I need the aesthetics, but all the images I chose are intuitively picked. So they were picked based on my intuition, and aesthetically I didn't love all of them. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to use that as a thumbnail. But it was important that I used them because I was intuitively drawn to them. And I think that's a really big part of the process of choosing the right option for you today. I think I'm very intrigued to know what kind of things we're going to get out of here. I don't think it's just going to be like recycle more, eat less meat. I don't know, maybe we will, but I think Mother Earth is a lot more complex than that. And I do think Earth wants humans here, so otherwise we wouldn't keep being created. So yeah, I think they want us to be a part of the world. So what can we do to be better humans, basically? So let's get into this reading, and I'll show you the options that I have for you today. Before we begin, please do remember this is a general reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest behind, because you are not the ugly stepsister. Please do not force that shoe onto your foot. Hi there, option number 1. I feel like I always say option, but I guess it is image number 1 today. You guys have some oracle cards. I haven't filmed a pick a card in a little while, so I'm kind of like, I lose the swing of things quite often very quickly if I don't film. But I don't want that to be annoying. I actually want to light a candle real quick. I'm just feeling like we need all the elements here. I mean, this is a fake plant, so it's not really giving earth, but it's cute. Do, 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 do. Oh, me. I'm gonna stay my okay. We have hibiscus and sea mist, which I feel like might be quite fitting. It also was the closest candle to me, so there is that. I just hate lighting candles. I'm like, fire, not fun. We ain't trying to burn nothing. We ain't trying to die. We just trying to live. We just trying to live. I feel like there's a message here about was there and then it kind of left. It's like a heartbeat, like a living thing. So this could be animals, people. I mean, plants in general are living things. But yeah, I'm literally seeing a heartbeat, so it's definitely more so about, like, say, animals or people. So I think for this pile, just kind of like intuitively feeling people working with communities and like just people in general is really going to be where you guys help out this planet. Especially those in situations where there's like hunger involved, deprivation, like really just the people in this world who are suffering the most. Because as this candle settles down, it doesn't feel like a peaceful settling. It feels like an end, like a death, or yeah. So some of you guys could even be mediums, and be able to like either channel the dead, or maybe you see ancestral spirits, death, or maybe you guys even have like Scorpio placements or something like that, or 8th house placements, or 12th house. Yeah, community here is really coming through. It's like the support of a community. It's like you guys are literally like a protector of people. Maybe you guys are like lawyers. We could have some lawyers in this pile. Humanitarian people. Working in first aid even. Like I'm seeing like first aid in wars. Like really devastating situations here. It's like you connect people, you connect through people, you connect people together, you connect to people, you connect people to Earth, to the world, with each, well, I already said together, with each other, so yeah. Like as I'm looking at this plant, there's literally a spider web that I missed until I've just looked up now. And it's just like connected all these kind of leaves. And I feel like that's you guys. You guys are like the glue that holds everything together. As well as you guys could have some Mars energy in your chart, because I feel like there's this like charging happening. It's like you guys are the leaders, the ones who lead people into battle. Yeah, you fight for people in some capacity. Well, this is how you help heal the earth anyway, or how you can if you're not yet in this kind of stage. Sorry, I can't actually tell if my face is in focus or not, or what's in focus, because like the smoke is kind of blurring my eyes at the moment. Okay, let's just leave that one there for now. And let's look at your tarot cards. Okay, so you guys have the 4 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, which did come out in reverse, but I kind of feel like putting it upright. So I'm going to leave it upright for now. But I'll just mentally note that it was in reverse here. You guys had the 2 of Wands, which to me, this kind of feels like the explorer energy. The energy of someone who travels the world, who sees new cultures, who experiences new cultures, who aims to understand different, like I said, cultures and different ways of living around the world. You also have the World card and the 10 of Pentacles, which came out together. And the 10 of Pentacles is a card of like family. You could definitely associate this card with community as well. and that kind of stability that community and family provide. Connecting people all across the world here. Again, the glue that holds things together. The Pentacles suit is, I'm trying to see if I'm in focus there, goodness me, my eyes. The Pentacles suit is for something that's very solid. You guys might associate with having a bit more masculine energy in terms of like wanting to be the provider, wanting to lead in a way as well. That's regardless of gender. I feel like I say this all the time, but just in case anyone doesn't get it yet, masculine and feminine energy is nothing to do with gender. Four of Pentacles here. So you literally right now only have wand cards, a major arcana, which is literally a circle shaped like a pentacle, and pentacle cards. So definitely some fire energy maybe here, as well as earth energy individuals. These also might be two key elements that you are able to work with. Maybe so why I was so drawn to, like, you know, lighting a candle at the beginning of this reading. Four of Pentacles. I don't know, there's nothing coming from me for that one right now. So you can see this Eight of Wands right now. So again, Eight of Wands as well is about that connection. Like, look how many wands are here, all working together in unison, supportive of each other. Could also be a card of communication as well. I'm getting that feeling again of like charging into battle. Like, I imagine, if you guys know the Six of Wands card, oh, let me see if I can find it, because it's only going to make sense if you see it, I think. Come on, Six of Wands. Actually, in this deck, it is a little bit different. So it might not make the same amount of sense. Hold on a second. Let's try that again. Six of Wands card. Here we go. So the Six of Wands is kind of like all these people celebrating their leader who has guided them into battle and won. So it's, for me, this Eight of Wands card right now, I'm kind of picturing it as almost like the top view, as if I had looked up here. So it's all these people working together in unison, all these people celebrating each other's efforts, also celebrating their leader as well, praising that person for the win, praising them for what they've been able to accomplish for them as a community, as an empire, as a group, as a whatever. So I hope you guys can see what I was seeing there. It's like the top, like a bird's eye view of what that would look like if all the sticks were in the air. Oh, actually no, sorry, the wrong way. It's not a bird's eye view. It would be a bottom up view of it, actually, wouldn't it? Really, it would be like if you were a person at the bottom, what it would look like if you saw all the sticks in the air. My bad. So I want to pull some more cards so we can understand this a little bit more about how you can help heal Mother Gaia, the earth. Yeah, let's go with this deck, why not? Just push you up a little bit. Right, let's get some clarifiers, please. Let's make more sense of this. So choosing option number 1. Can we clarify why the Four of Pentacles is here, please? Why is the Four of Pentacles here? For how they can help Earth heal. So that is the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Cups. straight away that feels like a disregard of selfishness. I'm saying that quite badly, but basically operating from a heart-centered place, not from a place of like lack, or feeling like you don't have enough. That's how you help heal the earth, by giving. Like I said, community is very important. So by giving, in order to be a community-based person, you have to feel so abundant and know that you will always be provided for. Like your family, your immediate family will not go without, you will not go without. So you know that internally, so you give. It's like those very I'm seeing like church people and how they are very giving to their community, or can be very giving to their community, because they have this trust in God to provide for them, to give them what they need. Like they will give the clothes off their back to give to someone who they know might need it more in that moment, even if they themselves are struggling. Like it's that kind of mindset that's really going to help, that is really going to help the earth heal from, in terms of what you guys can do. Clarify the 8 of Wands here, please. Okay, one thing I really need to note is all throughout this kind of reading, me pre-pulling the oracle cards, I keep getting 2 cards coming out. And I bet you next time I pull, I'll get 1 card coming out. But it's either just a lot of cards or 2 cards, 2 cards, 2 cards. So there is this message about duality here. And I was meant to do a collective, kind of like an overview of what Mother Gaia wants you guys to know in general. So if I did do that in the end of this reading, then it would probably have come first. And maybe I'll mention it again there. So ignore me here. But just for my own memory, 2 cards keep coming out every single time. And it's giving me this message of duality, and the only thing I can associate it with is masculine and feminine energy. So it's like this, you cannot have one without the other. You should not have one without the other, and everyone needs to be in balance. The earth is very duality based. I think less than like say a different, like the spiritual realm. I think even the way the phrase "the earth stands on an axis" is like coming to me, and how like an axis has like an A and a Z. I was gonna say an X and a Y, but they're literally next to each other, so it doesn't really work. But like it has like, it's very duality based, like you're one extreme or the other. Even as humans, we are very duality based. Like you're either good or you're bad. You are poor or you're rich. Like, you know, we don't think in terms of grey a lot of the time. So that just keeps coming up, and I thought that was interesting to know. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands reversed. Coming up to clarify that 8 of Wands. Okay, let's clarify the 2 of Wands, please. How this option can help with Earth. Oh my gosh, see? 2 cards again. Thank you for proving my point. I was like, I was worried there that they was gonna mess me about, but it's fine. Sometimes they be playing me. But anyway, the Magician and the Page of Pentacles coming out here. There's a lot of yellow, I just noticed. So yellow. Again, might have some Leo energy, Sun energy coming through here. As well as the, I always get it mixed up whether yellow or orange is like the solar plexus or the sacral. I want to say it's the, I actually can't remember. Let's look it up. Here it says this chakra is all about action and transformation, willpower. So yeah, again, that masculine energy, masculine themes really coming through here. it is very interesting that you have the Page of Pentacles upright, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Two of Wands, which for me, when it comes out in this deck, it's very much so someone who has made a plan but hasn't put it into action here. Made a plan but hasn't put it into action. And that is supported by the fact the Page of Pentacles was here, because that is kind of someone who's just at the beginning of their journey, at the beginning of their plan. It's a very solid plan. There's a lot of foundation to it, but they haven't started movement yet. And with the Knight of Pentacles coming out in reverse, I feel like that's reiterated again. And I guess the Eight of Wands initially was in reverse as well. So it's like, even though there is this spark, there's almost something holding it back. So what is that about? Disagreement, fighting. Okay, let's keep going. There's definitely a message here. It's just not very clear right now. And I don't want to just butcher it, but let's get clarifiers for this World card. Ten of Pentacles energy over here. Okay, we have Ten of Cups came out there. That did come out in reverse. World card, Ten of Pentacles. Why is that here? For how they can heal. Okay, we have the Five of Swords reversed as well. So there is that kind of disagreement energy happening again. And I guess because your theme is about community, there is a need for collaboration here. And when there is kind of like this self-centered ideology, it doesn't benefit the earth. You guys might in your lifetime fight against a lot of kind of like narcissistic or self-centered individuals as you try to show them a different way of thinking. I mean, it's not your job to heal others, but sometimes our energy, just the way we are and the people we interact with, we do kind of incidentally kind of help people shift their views, even if they don't tell us that we've done that. Help people know that this isn't the right way of being. And even when you are giving and loving and community based, you can still be abundant and you can still be very fulfilled. And it doesn't mean that you have to go without. Especially in the West, I think this is maybe why there was a lot of information previously about you visiting or being connected to places where there might be a lot of deprivation, or like, say, we'll call them third world countries, even though they literally have more than us and we just take everything from them. But you know, those kind of countries, at least on the lower levels, like not the politicians and all those kind of people, but on the lower levels, those people are very community based. And isn't it funny how the ones who don't usually have a lot are the ones who are giving so much of themselves? I'm seeing even like communities where like the children will be brought up with and like breastfed by all different women within the community, because they understand that this isn't just their child, but it's everyone's child. It's everyone's responsibility. You guys might be very drawn to being maybe a part of these communities, or beginning your own community like this that resembles essence of these. Maybe you guys are very into anthropology, I want to call it. I think that's the right word. Yeah, anthropology. And looking at smaller communities and the way that they run, because they often do a lot of things right that us in the more Western world don't really value or do, because we're taught that that kind of way of being isn't conducive to being successful, isn't going to make us live the kind of lifestyle that we might want for ourselves. Even though the individualistic mindset is so isolating and leaves you feeling quite lonely. Leaves you feeling more depressed and anxious. Can you tell me more about this Eight of Wands energy that came out here, please? I have this. 2 cards again. You had the Page of Wands and a Judgment. They did come out in reverse. I'm just showing you upright. Page of Wands and Judgment. So Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is a card of communication, communicating your emotions, your feelings. And then Judgment here. The message I do feel for this pile is that I feel that some of you guys maybe haven't put this into action, and that's why we're getting quite a few reversals here. But the way that you guys will end up helping, or can help, the earth heal is by standing up for others and yourself, being more emotionally open and willing to communicate your emotions with others, getting to, you know, not brushing things under the carpet. If you see someone, or obviously keeping yourself safe, I know it's a lot easier for me to say it, but when you are in a safe environment and you feel capable to do this, I think being that kind of, I'm hearing the word martyr, but that could not be correct for what I'm exactly meaning here, but it is kind of a similar essence. But being the person who is willing to speak up when you know things are wrong, when people are being mean, horrible, when people are being very individualistic in their mindset, are not giving or sharing. It could even be as simple as instilling these values within your children as well. For you, that's maybe why I kept seeing this Mars energy, this warrior kind of warlike themes coming, because it's like you're fighting against the individualistic mindset. You're fighting against this ideal of one for all and all for one. I don't even know if that's the right one. That's the right phrase, actually. That's probably not the right phrase, but you're fighting against the idea that putting yourself first is what gets you further, is what we should be doing. And if you are in the Western world, it is a kind of difficult mindset to fight against, because, like I said, everyone is taught the opposite, or many of us are taught the opposite. Many of us kind of see the opposite side winning, getting what they want, but we also maybe don't see the kind of depression, the sadness, the loneliness that comes with that as well. So the way you guys heal the planet is by literally fighting against this mindset and promoting that community, the value of leaning on others, on trusting others. And also here where I see that you guys have the idea, the plan, but maybe you don't have all the tools to make it happen. And that is the value of community, is that you can lean on others. You can words not coming. You can kind of identify where people's skill sets are and delegate tasks to get things done. All right, we're going a bit over time, so let me just do one last card pull and then get into the oracle card messages. So one last card pull, please, so that we can see how those using option 1 can help the earth heal. Ooh, okay. So you guys have the Lovers card. Quite a few cards came out here. A lot of them in reverse, but you have the Three of Swords, 10 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, and the Strength card. Again, these did come out in reverse. And also the Judgment card as well. So I feel judgment is here because it's about freeing yourself from that judgment, freeing yourself from the idea that if I do speak up, people are going to think I'm weird, people are going to call me crazy for thinking this, people are going to say that I'm going to be unsuccessful, that I'm not going to, you know, get far in life, and all these different kind of words that might creep in when you do want to speak up. Maybe you are just someone who was brought up to be a people pleaser, and it is hard for you to kind of stand up for others and yourself. And how you help heal this as well is by healing yourself, healing those wounds, the wounds that tell you that you need to put yourself first to get where you want to go. Obviously you do put yourself first ultimately, but it's more so a mindset of like not being selfish, not being narcissistic in the way that you behave, not being so egoic. You have the Strength card here. Again, Leo energy coming through. The Strength card can also be about the ego, but here it's about bringing in that patience, being delicate, both fierce and also kind. Very divine feminine actually, because even though I'm talking about masculine energy here, it's a very divine energy. It's, I guess, why the twos kept coming in. Maybe that message was literally just for your pile, but it's like a balance of the two. Yes, you know when to take action. You're very forward thinking. You are very much so able to delegate and come up with ideas and stuff like that, which again is quite feminine actually now I think about it. Maybe you are more feminine energy now I think about it, but it's very like still a warrior energy. If the feminine isn't weak, it's not yeah, this might even go down to that kind of judgment as well, where maybe you have felt like you had to be more ruthless, more toxic kind of masculinity in order to get further in life. Because if you are in, say, the corporate field, you're in any kind of major business or something like that, like we are kind of told that you can't show emotions, you know, you can't give people second chances, you have to be very ruthless about how you go about things. But I think this is about how you guys will help heal the earth is when you are more just kind, generous, giving, patient, very motherly in your nature, just how Mother Gaia is. Like, isn't it so funny how Mother Gaia is literally like, has all those things, you know, you come to nature and it's very giving, it's very abundant, and it loves to give, right? But also you have the ruthlessness of like a tornado, a hurricane, a storm, the rain, like avalanches, like the absolute ruthlessness that can come from nature as well, that kind of duality. Even though it is overall a feminine energy, it still has that kind of darker side to it as well, that is very warrior-like and knows how to put its foot down when it's necessary. Like, that's enough. I want to know why the Ten of Cups has come out in reverse twice here. Why is the Ten of Cups appearing in reverse? Why is the Ten of Cups appearing in reverse for how they can heal? Okay, so it's when people or you are being very superficial in your being, like very surface level. Maybe you talk about, I really want to help heal the planet. Oh, like you talk about doing all the, okay, that makes sense as well for why we have the Page of Wands here. And I said it's like there's a plan but there's no action. So when you are basically talking about doing all these things but you're not actually putting it into action, you're not really doing anything. Basically, you're not helping. So you need to put action into the things that you are saying, to even just for yourself, to become this kind of warrior-like person who is willing to be a leader and put your foot down and lead communities in the right direction as well. You have to mean what you say and say what you mean. Okay, let's move on to oracle cards because we're getting a lot here. All right, let's see what we got here. So we have Ceridwen with potential, the goddess of potential. We have Lakshmi with the goddess of fortune. We have snake spirit with time to heal. There's that scorpionic energy as well, transformations. Oh, we have eagle spirit with spirit has your back. I kind of love that it's an eagle. It's that kind of hunter energy again. I'm feeling connected to this number 23, so that could be important to you, as well as the number 5, which is about change. We have here movement, as well as drink tea. So yeah, we have movement here with that masculine energy coming through. It's telling you to take action, get moving. And I think as well with this potential card, it's like you have so much potential to give, and you have so many, again, you might have so many ideas as well of how you can make things better in this world, how you can improve people's lives just by, and it may be through developing more of a community-based mindset. But in order to build this kind of world that you want for yourself and maybe your children or just the future in general, you have to start taking action. You have to start moving towards it. And that's how you help. Here with time to heal, you help heal the earth by healing yourself as well. Healing yourself of those wounds. The wounds that have told you that being emotionally open, being giving isn't, all those kind of feminine traits isn't right, isn't how you should be. Healing those particularly emotional wounds I'm hearing as well. There might be abandonment wounds, people telling you, like self-worth wounds as well. Because the better you feel within yourself, the better you can be for others. The more abundant you feel, the more self-worth you have, the more you give to others because you feel so great in yourself, you just want to share it. Your cup is so full that you're willing to pour into others. You can't wait to pour into others. I feel like the Spirit Has Your Back card is very connected to that judgment energy of like when you do come across this kind of narcissistic, very egoic people in your life, when you do have to stand up for yourself and stand up for others, and you might be a little bit scared to do so, Spirit has your back in these moments. Like I love that this eagle has a crown on its head as well. You have a major leadership energy. Whoops. Like you are supported in this mission. Yeah, fortune. I knew there was a thing about money here for you guys. Abundance, really important for you. You might have some Tauruses in this pile as well. But sharing your abundance. Knowing that to give isn't to be without, basically. I feel as if whenever I have the drink tea card, it's about slowing down, patience as well, because when you make tea in its kind of, you know, you're not using a tea bag, you're properly doing the process of making tea. It is a very slower process. You need to be patient in order to, like, you know, I'm literally like making the shell right at the moment, but like, you know, to strain the leaves and get the right flavors from it, like you need to be slow and patient, and it's kind of a very meditative practice as well. So developing this in your own life, developing kind of maybe meditating as well, so that you can be a little bit more patient with others, be more allowing of others, trusting. I feel that your masculine and feminine may have a habit of coming out of balance sometimes. So literally how you heal the world is by bringing those both energies right back into balance. Right, you know, I love to read a good oracle message. So it says, perhaps you are making yourself small for the sake of getting others to accept you. Now is not the time to be vulnerable and dependent, for you have wings to fly on your own, and you need to do that at this time. There is no need to huddle in a shelter or even to seek out a flock to support you, for Eagle Spirit says you have tremendous wisdom and courage within. Let it arise so that you might soar proudly, with the angels serving as the wind beneath your wings. For these heights you can make the best and most powerful choices for the highest good of all. So I feel as though, even though it's saying you don't need a flock, you don't need help, which is, I don't think that's 100% true, but I do feel that if you have been brought up in a family that doesn't really support these beliefs of yours, or around friends or a community right now who don't share these kind of belief systems, rather than trying to force it on these people, search for your community. Be open to meeting new people. Maybe you need to leave where you're at right now. Again, I said you guys need to explore maybe smaller communities around the world and see different ways of living and being to get inspired, so that you can then go on and teach people and re-inspire people for what you do. You guys might also be like maybe content creators, and you use this knowledge to kind of promote your own community online as well. Sorry, my nose is really itching me, which usually means I'm channeling a good message. Alright, I'll read this real quick from the fortune card. It says, the goddess Lakshmi says this kind of thinking. This card says, your alignment task is to stop and be mindful of the direction of your thoughts and reframe them to focus on what you truly intend. Repeat this mantra: what is mine will not go past me. When you feel the green gremlin of envy creep into your heart, bless the other person and say, that which I desire is also for me. Your true limitations are only what you set for yourself. Don't let your conditioned mind and faulty beliefs rule your life. Break free. The world is unlimited if you let yourself open up to the wealth of your imagination. And I do feel again that goes to the drink tea card here. Just the patience that comes from the practice of brewing a good tea in the traditional way. It is, like I said, it's a very meditative practice, even just meditation. Just doing those things really helps your practice how to settle your mind when you are feeling very anxious, when you're overthinking, when you're getting that lack and those fears creeping in, because they will creep in. It's just natural. That, like I said at the beginning, this is how a lot of us are brought up. So it's very hard to just kind of make a switch, but it is possible. It just takes healing. It takes time. So guys, that is the part you can play in helping Mother Gaia and the earth heal. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did and you found that the messages resonated with you, let me know how by commenting down below. I like to read like the specific kind of ways that it actually resonated with you guys. Like, I love reading those things because obviously I'm reading for everyone and it can feel quite abstract in the moment, but then when I read like the little comments, I'm like, yes, I see. I love it. So please do share them down below if you're willing to. If you're interested in spirituality and lifestyle content, then you can subscribe down below, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye. Hi there, option number 2. Welcome to your reading. I've already pre-pulled your tarot cards for you. We're going to start off with a bit of an intuitive kind of read. I've got your oracle cards here, but we're going to put those to the side. In the option number 1, I did do a bit of what I call fire scrying. I don't know if that's the right way, but I just kind of look into the candle, see what I see. But as I was like getting into this energy, already felt a bit of intuitive messages. I really felt like I was kind of like swaying. Almost feels like being on a boat or being rocked to sleep. There's something about your energy, or the energy of just this part in general, that is very like peaceful, calming, even though your cards actually speak very differently to that. But yeah, I feel like I could fall asleep in your energy right now. So maybe you guys are like the peacemakers in your family, or you kind of have that energy of being very good in like conflict, being very good with like disasters or anything. Like you're the person who people turn to like for advice and stuff like that. Because I just feel you actually have at the top of this deck over here this Queen of Wands. She's like wrapped in nature, she's sitting in nature, sorry, with her eyes closed, taking it all in. I can hear the birds twerking. I can hear the birds tweeting in the background, like all the nature sounds. So also you guys are very like, yes, I think everyone who comes to this reading is pretty intuitive. Who clicks on these readings are pretty intuitive, but yours is like psychic. I don't know how to differentiate it. Like, what's the word? High levels? No, there shouldn't be levels, should there really? But like for you, I'm hearing things. It's auditory, it's visual, it's emotive, I'm feeling it, you know, like I'm getting all the clairs, like clairsentience, claircognizance, clairaudience, is not the word, but yes, you know what I mean. And usually just one kind of thing comes through. So you guys are very tapped in, let's call it that. Very spiritually aware people, or you will be. Right now I'm drawn to this 9 of Cups here. I don't know why this is making me laugh, because he just has all these like cups kind of like smushed together in this image. It's like he's trying to fit them all in this row. I just keep hearing like, come on guys, there's plenty, like come and get some. Guys, look how much I have, like come and get some. Like I feel like he's actually inviting me in rather than shutting me out. He's putting on display how much he has to give. And with it being cups, it's like the love that he has to give. Like there's enough room in here for everyone. That's what it feels like as I look into this image. Like look at all I have to give. All this room, all this space. Join me. And that sounds quite creepy, but join him. Come on guys, we don't need to fight over it. There's enough for everyone. You guys might be very much into like music might speak to you a lot, because I'm hearing music a lot. Like I said, I heard the birds, now I'm hearing music in this kind of card. It's like a waltzy kind of type theme of music, dancing happening. I also want to laugh a lot, so I feel that you guys might have a very like childlike energy, a childlike spirit, where you find the humor in any situation. Maybe some of you guys have like Sagittarius placements. Like even though this is a very serious card, when they're about to have a fight, they're about to have a rumble, even not a tumble, sorry, a rumble. I wonder if some of you guys think like, damn, this girl is so British sometimes. Like the way I just say these coming up with words, not coming up, but the words I use are very British sometimes. But anyway, but I feel like I'm just hearing this guy like kind of laughing it off, Like it's not a serious argument or a fight. And that's why I feel that the way you guys help heal the world, heal the earth, is through your humor, seeing the lightheartedness in the situation. Like on the other side of this, there could be a group of people with pitchforks like, hey, how come you get the biggest house on the block? How come you get all of these 9 cups? And you're just like, guys, I never said this was just for me. Come on. Like, I don't know what you're doing down there. The gates are open. You want to fight? Let's fight. But I'm not really taking this seriously. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what you thought this was, but I'm not, like, even the way I'm just talking right now, I feel like I can't even raise my voice. It's so funny. I love being in this energy, by the way, so you get to have it all the time. Congratulations. But oh, I love it. Even this 2 of Pentacles card, which usually speaks of things being out of balance, but just the way that the water is so calm, the boat is just kind of gliding across, and to be honest, this looks pretty equal. Like, yeah, one's a little bit lower than the other, but ultimately it doesn't look too out of balance, even with this infinity sign around it. It's like keeping everything in balance, in tune. So maybe some of you guys also have Libra placements as well, like that kind of harmonious aspect, being able to balance different opinions, make the best out of a situation, bring harmony to a situation. And I think a lot of Libra placements as well end up being around a lot of people who might be very fiery, very opinionated, maybe very much so the type of people who want to butt heads with others, because of their natural energy to kind of like soothe situations. There's 10 of Swords. Even here on a card that's just like, this man has been stabbed multiple times. And I still feel like he's like, it's not that serious. And again, it's an auditory experience looking at this card. I just hear this oof. Like, oof. It's almost like a dad who what I'm picturing in my head is like kids playing with their dad or parental figure or whatever, and they're kind of like pretending to shoot them or hit them or something like that, and then the guy just like, even though he's so big and the people are their kids are so little, like he pretends like it really is impactful. And it's just like this oof feeling. So again, that childlike feeling coming through, being able to tap into that energy is really how you help heal the earth. And I do think that, as I'm saying previously, where I was like, I feel like you guys are like, yeah, you're intuitive, everyone's intuitive, but like you guys are like top tier. But then I had to kind of like rephrase it, and it was like, yes, you guys could be the best of the best at what you do, but you will never be, you don't have this element of being cocky or feeling like, or being very egoic, like, yeah, I do have it all. It's more like, I have it all, but I also love to share. Like, I also want you guys to be here too. Like, come join. And as I was talking about in option number 1, where Gaia in general is so giving, so abundant, like it wants to give. So you guys share that kind of same element as well, of being of knowing that you are abundant and wanting to give. Let's get some clarifiers, because I feel like I'm spending a lot of time on this, even though I could just look at your cards all day, to be honest. I actually feel like sticking with this vice versa tarot, which is not usually the plan, but whatever. I'm trying to pick up this one card, and there we go. Let's see. How do those choosing image number 1, how do they help? How can they help heal the planet? Earth. Let me clarify why the Ten of Swords came out here. So that is the Four of Wands, unity, celebration as well. Clarify the Two of Swords, why is that here? Ooh, the Hierophant. Spiritual leader, teacher as well. It's giving me the idea of kind of like, you know, a priest or vicar, whatever it is, people who are leaders within like a religious organization. People come to them for advice, and I mean, they might think that these people are better than them, or they are seen as more pure or better, I guess, as like a kind of outside point of view. You know, we expect more of someone who is in the role of a priest or a vicar. But a lot of the time, let's say the good ones anyway, the actual ones who are spiritual beings, who really listen to the word, whatever word they follow, they kind of press the idea that they are no different from everyone else. The only difference is that they trust, they believe, they are connected. Like, obviously everyone is connected. I don't know, it's like, see, when things are a feeling for me, it's very hard, it's a lot harder for me to explain it. So just let me know if you're catching my drift. But it's like, yes, everyone is connected, but some people are connected, but they're not really going to speak to their guides often. They're not going to engage in prayer. They're not going to read the word of the Bible and try to make sense of it and know how to adapt it to their own life. Like, yes, some people believe in God, but some people follow it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of distinction between the two. So it's like, your guys' energy, you don't have to believe in God or anything like that, I'm not saying that, but your guys' energy is like a true follower. Like, it is the essence of a master, a spiritual leader or master or teacher. Even when I said you emulate some of the characteristics of like Gaia herself, being very giving, being very abundant, being very playful. Yeah, I did mention Libra here, and I'm getting that you guys might be very Venusian as well in your essence. So you could be very beautiful as well in the eyes of others. Like, people might perceive you as having pretty privilege, or they might think, put it on you like, oh, you only have that because you look like that. You only have that because of this. Like, they try to diminish what you have, but you know what it has taken you to get there. Like, we do have very harsh cards here, but I don't feel that harshness from you. So how you guys help heal the earth is by not letting what has happened to you harden you. Still possessing that childlike joy, that childlike wonder, being very given and open to others, teaching others, knowing that you're not actually any better than others either. Like, that is a very humbling, yeah, that's it, you guys are very humble. That's the word that I guess I was missing here. But it's a very humbling characteristic to have, to know that despite your kindness, your giving nature, all of the things you have been through, all the things you now maybe have or you will acquire in your lifetime, it doesn't make you any better than anyone else. So you guys could have a direct line to, I'm going to call it God because it's just easier to quantify it that. I mean, characterize it as that. But like, you could have a direct line to like God or spirit, and, you know, be able to like pick up the phone. Like I said, like, it's like a prayer. Like, you guys are very connected to that energy. You could just put your hands together and say, hey spirit guides, I need you right now. Where you at? Pull up. And like I said, you guys are very playful. I'm just having fun with it. But anyway, and maybe some people will try it, but they don't quite hear it, they don't quite grasp it. Maybe that's why also why you're very auditory coming from you. A lot of auditory stimulation. You literally hear it, you receive it. It's the message. Everyone's getting messages, but you're receiving the message. And despite that blessing, that gift, that skill that you have acquired, you still don't think you are better than anyone else. You are still willing to help others get what you have. This doesn't even have to be in a spiritual sense. I'm seeing like people like who are like accountants or like what's the ones, spiritual advisors maybe, but also financial advisors, like things like that. Like you help people acquire what you have, you educate people on what you have done so that they can do it too. You're not a gatekeeper. Why is the Knight of Cups here? Ooh. We have a Wheel of Fortune as well as the Seven of Cups. There we go. Clarify the Five of Wands, please. We have the Queen of Pentacles. You guys could be very financially abundant. Clarify the Two of Pentacles, please. We can do Two of Pentacles. I mean, that kind of wants to come out, but there we go. Okay. So we have the Lovers card kind of coming out. It's showing me both sides, so I'll just show you both sides as well. As well as this Eight of Swords for the Two of Pentacles. Again, this Eight of Swords is giving me someone who's like, who likes to play around a bit. It's like, yeah, oh, this hawk is trying to get me. Oh, they think they can get me. It's like, I keep saying sorry. I keep saying like in my readings. It's not great. I just have to explain to you what I'm picturing here because I don't think there's any other way for you to get what I'm feeling or seeing. It's a lot. But it feels as if this girl is could very easily get out of this situation. And the hawk again is kind of maybe symbolizing a bit of this Nine of Cups energy where you have these people who might be angry at you, these people who are like trying to get at you, these let's call them haters. You have these haters trying to get at you. And you could very easily release yourself from this situation. Maybe you go into hiding, maybe you close your doors, maybe you are Elsa from Frozen. But instead of doing that, you kind of just let them. Maybe you are counselors as well, or you are people who are around people who may be very angry at life. And you don't mind them getting at you because you know it's not about you. Like, you have enough self-esteem to know that them being mad at you, it's not about you. And maybe there's just something they need to get off their chest. I'm also seeing role play here, so maybe you guys like a bit of role play as well. I keep just thinking about your personality, and I feel a lot of you guys have whereas option number one, it was like you have to do more of this to kind of help the planet. It's almost like you guys embody this energy already. So I guess that's why I'm just describing you in a way. But yeah, I just see this person very easily being able to get out of this situation. But just, it's not teasing, but it's just going along with it. Just because they know that it would make this eagle feel better about itself. Like, the eagle can go back to its little eagle friends and be like, huh, I got this girl all trapped. Like, they can go back and gloat. And this girl doesn't mind because she's like, hey, I can get out of this at any time, but right now, I know that you need this. That's how I see it. It's like, right now, I know you might need to shout at me. And that's okay. It's very peaceful. Yeah, Lover's card here. Balance. Again, that duality coming through here. I did mention in option number 1 that there was a theme of duality that the earth energy has in general. So I'm just associating it with that masculine and feminine, that balance that needs to happen here. Yeah, Mercury is a sign up here, and you have a lot of sword energy. So the way that you communicate, and sometimes I feel for you guys, sometimes you might not even have to say words to communicate something to someone. It could just be a listening ear. But the way that you communicate really helps with the healing of Earth. Communicate with others. Was that something I was going to do? Okay, all this energy here is speaking to your nature. The fact that you... Okay, maybe you might not know this right now. Maybe it's not something you 100% believe, but I feel as you grow and mature, get wiser, the way that you heal the world is by understanding spiritual concepts. I guess it comes here as well with the Hierophant message. Understanding that you can't always know how things will go or what is the best way forwards. But within that, you're okay with this unknowing. It's like a level of spiritual awareness or wisdom that you use to bring you comfort and bring other people comfort too in the process. So anyway, we are really doing a lot of talking here. So I could continue going, to be honest, but I'm gonna do oracle cards now, otherwise we're gonna be here all day. And this reading is gonna be very, very long. Itchy nose again. Okay. So I'll just do this. You have the New Beginning card. Number 3 might be important here. You have 13 and then 33. You have the Water card, Mama Quacha. You have a Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. It did come out in reverse. Yeah, you have a lot of synchronicities. We've got 13, 33, and then we've got 10 and 11. I'm just talking about the ones here and the 3s. And I guess the 1 is in 13 as well. But we have Butterfly Spirit, transformation is beautiful. We have deep breathing. And also watch a movie. So when we were talking about knowing or understanding kind of like these spiritual concepts, these facts that we can't always know how things will go, we can't always be in an action phase. Sometimes we have to be in a receiving phase. Sometimes we have to rest. Sometimes nothing is happening. And that's what this card is about, that water energy here. It talks about, you know, being within an ice, being unable to move maybe, but knowing eventually that that ice will melt and movement will begin again. That ebb and that flow feeling, that feminine and masculine feeling, that duality. So how you guys help heal the earth is through this knowing. really understanding it to your core and believing it, knowing how to execute it as well to the best of your abilities. I think it's quite interesting that we have a watching movie on the same side as this water card. Kind of, oh, we need to change the battery, just one moment. Alright, apologies if the camera has changed. I don't know if I put it back in the right spot. So watch a movie. The kind of idea of being able to escape the everyday, very Piscean in its energy, but and also keep that childlike playfulness, that joy, that fun that's in life. Not taking things too seriously as well. That's what I get from that card. So we have transformation is beautiful. So the growth, the stages of transformation that you experience, that is how you help heal the world. Coming into this beautiful butterfly after everything you've experienced, showing people your beauty. I mean, caterpillars might not know that they will one day turn into a butterfly, and they might be very jealous of the butterfly, that it can just fly around and do as it pleases. It doesn't have to crawl its little legs up, do so much work and get from tree to tree, leaf to leaf. And then one day they will cocoon and turn into a butterfly, and they will be just like everyone else. So it's like reiterating the idea of other people might look at you and think, oh, you're just here because of this. You got this because of this, because you're pretty, because you were born into this family, because, I don't know, X, Y, and Z. They might discredit how you became such a butterfly. But really, they don't know that you were also once a caterpillar, that you were just like them. That at your core, well, not at your core, but that you too experience many of the same things they once did. Like I said, you might end up being maybe you are very financially abundant in life, and people may just look at the surface level of what you have, but really what you have, it's not the things that bring you joy, it's the being able to give to others, it's the knowledge that you acquired along the way that brings you so much joy and fulfillment. So here, deep breathing. Yeah, so being able to calm yourself, bring yourself into the present moment. Not be fearful with this card energy here, the Eight of Swords that came out. Not feeling that fear, not even believing that the ego can get you. Knowing that you always have the tools that you need, the support that you need to get through. We have the abundant universe will provide, and new beginnings. I want to do this for this one and this one. I want to do this for this one and this one. So because it came out in reverse, I will kind of give a little bit of the protection message. We'll go with this bit. Even if outer events have happened to challenge your beliefs in abundance, outer conditions are temporary. If you are suffering from the malaise of fear, if you are suffering from the malaise of fear that you are impoverished, realize that it's only poverty of perception and perspective. Prayer, communion with your higher power, and gratitude coupled with compassion, selfless service will snap you right out of it. Give to someone who is less than you. Be thankful of the tiniest things and say affirmations. Then you will remember abundance is the true nature of the world. I'm smiling so much because it's all the things that we spoke about in this reading today. The idea that and I feel like when I'm reading this, it's not even like it's a big shift that you guys have to make. I think you are already doing this. I think you're already on the way to being this person, to embodying this energy. And how we have here when we spoke about prayer and your connection, your communion with your own higher power, and also just the gratefulness for what you have, knowing that you are no different from anyone else. Well, you are blessed for what you have, but it doesn't mean that you are now a better person than them. And also being selfless as well, and giving back. Again, when I spoke about this 9 of Cups and how he is willing to give all these cups away, invite people into his home, invite people into this amazing world that he's built for himself, because he wants to share it. He doesn't want it all for himself. He doesn't want to just sit here all alone. Okay, I'm drawn to this part of the message, so I'm just going to read it and see how it relates to your reading. But it says, you feel strong and capable of accomplishing so much at this time, as a sense of newness permeates your life. Fresh opportunities come out of nowhere and seemingly drop onto your lap. You feel a readiness as you are truly poised for success in whatever interests you. Allow for new experiences to be what they are by adopting beginner's mind. You remain open to what life has to offer you, and you will be so glad you did. Enjoy this wondrous time of new beginnings and welcome the gifts the goddess Esther has in store just for you. Interesting. How does that relate to how you help heal the planet? Fresh opportunities, fresh inspiration. I'm hearing the word spring. The season of spring, of new beginnings. I need another one. Let's just real quick clarify this new beginnings card. Tell me how this is how number 2. Oh, they're choosing option number 2 helps to heal. Interesting. So we got a lot of cards showing the back of people, which is interesting. Actually, all of them showing the backs. We got a 10 of Wands over here, Page of Wands, the Hermit, and also the Queen of Wands. So we've all got wands here, which is very, I guess, spring energy, the action energy. Even this Hermit person holds a wand in his card, or a stick, I guess you could call it. But he holds a wand. Oops, I've got them all the wrong way around now. That's my bad. Why did you come out like this? Do you know what? Oh, I just got chill. I actually wanted to cry there. It's just there. This feels like leaving behind. Why is it making me emotional? Oh, oh my gosh, okay. This feels like leaving behind all the experiences you've had. Not forgetting them as in, like, you know, forgetting all the lessons, but like all the like hurt, the pain. Why is it making me emotional? And moving into the new beginning is how you help heal the world, the earth. I keep calling it the world for you guys. Again, you guys might be very have lifetimes on different planets and stuff like that. Depends what you believe in. But like looking forwards, moving forwards, but it's for me, it's just a reminder of all the things you've experienced. Okay. That's everything I have. I'm not gonna go cry now. Oh my gosh, okay, wow. If this reading resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and let me know by commenting down below. I love you all in this pile a lot. Your energy is just lovely. And yeah, even as I look at this card, one thing I love about Vice Versa Tarot is the the last card on top of the deck, as I said down, always still relates. And it's this Chariot card of someone moving forwards and literally creating the world that they want as they go forwards. I hope this isn't really in focus, is it? There you go. Creating this wonderful, creating the path as they move forwards. It doesn't exist without their action, without their imagination, without their willpower. And I think that because you guys are so, at your core, such beautiful people, for one, but just people that naturally have this will to give to others and to not hoard whatever it is the world ends up giving you. It is purely just you wanting to get where you want to go, to live out your dream. That live out your dream is what helps you contribute to the healing of Gaia and the world in general. And I think that is pretty darn cool. We have Cancer energy here, which Cancer, I think a lot of people forget that Cancer, that's not real, a real thing, that Cancer is a cardinal sign. That is a sign of leadership, a sign of providing, of a protector, you know, a very motherly sign. It is an action-oriented, oh my god, what's wrong with me? Oriented sign. It's connected to its emotions despite its ability to be masculine in its energy, to take action. I mean, Cancer's not actually a masculine sign, but you get what I mean. To create, to birth, to provide, all the things. And yeah, that's everything. Gosh, like I said, I could keep going with your pile, but yeah, thank you guys for coming to this reading. You know what to do. You know what to do. Like, if you don't by now, shame on you at this point. Anyway, see you all in my next one. Bye. Hi there, option number 3. Those of you who chose the third image, welcome to your reading. I've already pre-pulled your tarot cards and we have your oracle cards already here, and we will get to those a little bit later on. I've been starting off with a bit of an intuitive read for all the piles, and straight away as I tune into your energy, I felt a lot of mental pressure. Goodness me, my head started hurting me, and then I looked, I opened my eyes, looked again, and I remembered that you guys had the Queen of Swords here, so that makes a lot of sense why there's a lot of mental pressure here. So maybe a lot of air sign placements picked this pile we have. So that is Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. Also, what was I going to say there? Of air energy. Also, you have very similar, well, the first 3 cards are very similar to option number 1. I don't know what the message is going to be, if it's going to be similar, but maybe you're drawn to option number 1. But gosh, a lot of mental energy here. Whew. That's interesting. Okay, I am gonna see if we can get anything from this flame here. We've had a lot of feminine energies, and I mean Gaia is a feminine energy overall. To be honest, we have a lot of messages about balance overall, like balancing masculine and feminine, but I feel like you guys may very naturally tap into your masculine energy a little bit more, because I keep seeing this image of kind of like a shelter, providing a foundation. That's what I was looking for. Building a foundation being very important for you as people. You also might be very fixed people, like very slow to change. Maybe not slow to see another point of view, but just slow to... We have the sun here, which is a fixed sign. It's very set in its ways. I mean, everything revolves around the sun. We also do have, again, I guess, Aquarius energy here. So Aquarius and Libra are opposite signs, but also both fixed signs. Both draw attention to each other, to themselves, if that makes sense. Actually, why am I struggling to say words again? Okay, both draw attention to themselves, not always purposefully, but people are naturally drawn to these energies. So you may find that people are naturally drawn to you. I hear the word togetherness. So again, it may be more so of that Aquarian energy of like community being very important. That was very much so in option number 1. And celebrating or doing things for the benefit of everyone, not just yourself. Although I do sense that maybe sometimes you guys might have a little bit of selfish tendencies, selfish tendencies, whatever. So that may be how you guys like help the planet more, is by, yes, doing what you need to do, but making sure that you are bringing in the people. How am I going to say this? Why is it so difficult to say? It's like being sure to actually bring people in to what you've built. So again, I'm seeing the shelter example here. So say you're here, you're building your shelter, which is all well and good. I'm not saying don't build yourself a shelter, but also inviting people in to stay within your shelter, even if they didn't help you build it. Not being so rigid maybe in your thinking, not being so like, well, they didn't help me, so why should they come under? Well, you can come under, you can't come under. I guess it's that kind of idea, like not being, what's the word, like you, not, but not you. There is a word for it. Not dividing things or people, but seeing them more so as like one body, seeing them as a part of you, seeing yourself in others as well. I do like to talk about how people are our mirrors, and for some people that can be a very hard concept to digest, because when someone is horrible or someone is like doing things that you just know you wouldn't really do, it's like, that person definitely is not my mirror. But there is an essence of that person, I truly believe anyway, that is mirroring you. Especially when we have such a strong aversion to someone, it's usually because there's something that they're doing that we might also do too, or that we need to do differently. For example, I see it as like, even if, say you come across someone and they're very selfish, it doesn't always necessarily mean that you are also selfish. Maybe everyone has some selfish tendencies, so yes, they might be mirroring that back to you, like, oh, maybe sometimes I can be a bit selfish. But also it could be a mirror of maybe I need to have stronger boundaries, and I'm a little bit more of a people pleaser than I thought. Maybe I actually should speak up more than I thought I should. So they're mirroring this back to you to kind of show you elements of yourself that may be a bit out of alignment. So where I'm going with this, I guess, is there is a need for you guys to see the oneness of things, of people. See that everything is connected. We're not individuals. Yeah, this is relating to option number 1, but in a different way. It's not necessarily about seeing the value in community. Yes, there is a value in community, but it's more so like don't even know how you would describe this. This has been a lot of this essence has been very hard to describe. Seeing yourself in others, basically. Seeing your parents, your people you love in others as well. So that you may be more willing to help them or open to them. Alright, let's get some more. Yeah, there's a very stubborn kind of energy here that I feel. I just need to do that quickly because that's annoying me. Okay. Let's get some clarifiers out here. As the Four of Pentacles here in reversed. How they just so we have the Six of Swords. It's kind of flipped out in reverse, so I will put it in reverse. Actually, I'm going to put it outright, but just so I can look at the image. But mental note, it's in reverse. Okay, Ace of Cups reverse. Why is that here, please? Oh gosh, I keep dropping all your cards. We have the Ace of Swords. So an ace and an ace. Maybe some of you guys might be known as a know-it-all. Or you don't like to be as open to other people's opinions. Like, it's very well that you guys could be very smart people, very in tune people, but sometimes we still need to have that kind of student mindset just so that we are open to learning. There might be something new that we have to gain from this experience. Careful where the Seven of Cups is here of us. So we have the Six of Wands and the Page of Wands. Six of Wands, Page of Wands. Clarify the Sun card, please. Oh, too many cards. Why is the Sun here, please? Another Ace. Ace of Wands now. That came upright though. Very fiery. You guys could be very fiery people too. Which is interesting. I got the idea that fire and air are very complementary to each other, but sometimes when we are so complementary, it's almost that idea of like birds of a feather flock together. Like if everyone around you is the same, what kind of benefit is that going to give you? You're not going to really grow in that situation. You're going to learn a lot from that situation. So it's like the way that you can help kind of heal Gaia, Earth, is by being open to new people, new situations, not always going for the same thing. This could be in dating, it could be in your friendships, maybe even in like working circumstances, stuff like that. Like if you are always doing the same thing and getting the same results, does that not mean that you are doing something maybe you shouldn't be doing anymore? I mean, is that not the definition of insanity, apparently? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting the same results. Yeah, there is a Hermit card here, energy. So you guys might have Virgo placements as well. And this is when I kept seeing this shelter, I kept seeing the Hermit card as well. So maybe you guys have a tendency to like cut yourself off from others, isolate, which is fine sometimes, but doing it all the time, not always the best. Not always the best to do things alone, to go through things alone. There's a need for you to be able to trust in others. Trust that these people can support you. It could even be like trusting in a professional. Like some people might not even trust a therapist with their problems, even though that person is trained to deal with your problems. And even if that one therapist, you like having one experience with a therapist and being like, oh no, that's not enjoyable, or I didn't like that person. I mean, it takes a couple of different therapists maybe, and then you get a good one, but maybe you just kind of quit on the first try. And clarify the Queen of Swords here, please. The Magician. Interesting. I can pick it up. But again, the Magician for me is a card of someone who is very independent, self-efficient, very Aquarian in nature. This Hermit card really wants to come out, but I will just put it like this. Okay. Who has the ability to make things happen for themselves, but they are also just doing it all by themselves. They don't have any help here. And again, I'm not saying that you guys aren't skilled, that you guys don't have all the tools. Maybe you are like the smartest person, the best at what you do, but even still, sometimes there is just a need to ask for help, invite someone in, teach someone what you've been doing. I keep seeing repeating messages here, like again, just asking for help, relying on support. What is the Seven of Cups? So there's just something missing from the information. Okay, Seven of Cups. So, Hangman. Bringing all over the place. Seeing things from a different perspective, a new point of view. Also pausing in order to do so, not rushing into things is really going to help the way that you do things. I'm noticing here that it's like helping yourself is really helping the planet, to be honest, which is a great thing because then there's less to do, right? Less pressure. You gotta just focus on your own kind of healing, your own behaviors, I guess you could call it. It's like there's a need for you guys to detach from a particular mindset. I think there's a mindset that's been holding you back in life. And maybe it is that mindset of like, well, I've got to do it all alone. There's no one else there out for you. You are born alone and you die alone. Like that kind of mindset. I'll try the Four of Pentacles with the Six of Swords. King of Cups. You do have water energy here, but it keeps coming out in reverse. So there is a disconnect from your emotions. Like I said, you guys are very mental, and just the way I was getting into your pile, and there was just, my head felt like it was going to explode. That's how much it hurt to be in your energy at the beginning, just mentally right here. So there's like a disconnect from your emotions. With the Ace of Cups reversed, you got the King of Cups reversed. The Seven of Cups was initially reversed as well. I just put it up right now, but yeah. And again, you have quite masculine energy here. So getting in touch with how you feel, trusting more in your intuition as well. Not just relying so much on your mind to get things done or to know where to put your energy. It's like you might feel, say you meet someone for the first time and you feel really great vibes from them and you're like, oh, I really would love to get to know this person, or I'm really vibing with their energy. But then your mind starts coming in and it's like, well, actually that person is into astrology and you don't know about astrology, you don't care about astrology, you think astrology is stupid. So they like, so you kind of just, your mind starts like criticizing this person or shutting them out, differentiating them. Is that, I'm like trying to find this word and I'm like, what is that word? Kind of like rejecting them before they can reject you. So there could be kind of like a rejection wound, like an abandonment wound here, trying to reject people before they reject you. Kind of an avoidant personality maybe as well. I feel like I'm really calling some of you guys out, so I apologize if you're feeling a bit called out here. But again, this is just, it's like helping the earth, helping the planet. It is helping yourself. And sometimes that can be even harder, especially if you were someone who doesn't like to look inwards, like feels uncomfortable looking at their own emotions and looking at maybe what they didn't do right in the situation or how they could improve. Or again, you have Virgo here, so quite critical. Maybe you are very self-critical, and yes, there is self-critical, like, why did I do that, or I'm not good enough, or those kind of mindsets. But also, if you think about it, a narcissist is very critical of themselves. They literally have the lowest self-esteem, yet on the surface, to everyone else, they are like, have the biggest egos. They think so highly of themselves, but it is a defense mechanism of the exact opposite of what they are internally feeling. If they even allow themselves to feel that, they can't even, like, it's too dangerous for them to allow themselves to feel that. Their defenses are so high that even themselves, they don't even know or aware of this kind of deep wound that they have. And I'm not saying you're like all the way on that side of the spectrum, but you might have some of these kind of tendencies to kind of maybe get a little twinge of a feeling and then shut it off. Let's get a couple more cards, shall we? I feel like let's change to this deck, which I like. I feel like this is kind of getting through to some of you guys actually. Just that switch in the deck. I've been wanting to pull from this deck since the beginning, but it was like your energy was like, no, I choose this deck. Let's stick with that. Like, again, that kind of very fixed idea. Like, my way or the highway. Oh, we're not doing this reading. Okay, let's see. How is it that those choosing option number 3 can help heal others, please? Can I help you? So we have the 3 of Swords. We have the Justice card. Knight of Swords. Let's get it in focus. There we go. And also the Fool card. So how you guys help heal the earth is by, even though you guys have experienced painful events, had painful experiences, and maybe have those rejection wounds, despite that, with this blue flower here, flower of hope, of things blooming even in the harshest of situations, knowing that things can blossom where you may think there is no fertile ground. That brings me back to the foundation word that I used earlier. You guys are very foundationally based. We need to make a great stable foundation before I even start, before I even step foot out. I'm seeing a lot of dating examples here, so I'm just going to use them. So in the dating field, again, you meet that person and you have a great spark with them. You're really like hitting it off, and then you find out something, or you find out something that makes you feel different from them, that makes you feel like this isn't gonna work. Maybe they live too far away, they live an hour away, and you're like, yeah, this is not going to work. So rather than just trying it out to see, rather than just inviting them in, just kind of embracing this good feeling that you're having, you kind of just shut it off before it can go any further. So it's like you're already seeing this foundation as being very shaky, so you're not even going to build on it, which, yes, can be a good thing sometimes. Remember, doing it in a healthy way. Like, say they have deal breakers, sure, let's not mess it about. But sometimes people can become our friends. Sometimes our heart may not be broken and it could be just the best experience ever. Or sometimes our heart might be broken and we still had the best experience ever. So it's like not cutting yourself off from situations, people in particular, just out of fear or a preconceived idea of how things will go. It's like you're very, very harsh when it comes to your decision making. There's no kind of grey area, it's just black or white. But then we have the Knight of Swords here, and we see how cloudy this person's vision is, especially if we compare it to this side of the card where it's a lot lighter, they can see more. He's even got the swallows to follow. Here he's just flying blindly, going into battle blindly, believing that, you know, he's armored, that he's secure, he's got his horse, he's on his way. But really, the vision that you're seeing isn't quite right. There's something obstructed here. There's something that needs to be wiped clean. And we also have the Fool card that came out here. Again, I keep seeing love, hearing love, so I heard being a fool in love, like you don't want to be a fool in love, but how you heal the earth is by being a little bit of a fool sometimes, taking risks. I'll show you the card, I don't think I did, but taking risks, leaping off the edge and seeing where it goes, seeing where things go. Knowing that you have enough in the moment to get by, to survive whatever happens. But yeah, I think it's time we move on to your oracle cards now and see what they have to say. Right, I actually feel like starting off with these, so let's have a look. See, we have read here. So yeah, definitely very intellectual people. I even hear like reading books out of your comfort zone. If you just don't like romance books, pick up a romance book. Do something a little bit different. We have plan a vacation. Getting out of your comfort zone is a major way that you can help heal the earth. We have here the past. I'm mostly intrigued in this one first of all. Oh, okay, we'll show both at the same time. Okay. We have the past and the word devotion here. And last but not least, we have see the big picture and life is speeding up. With life is speeding up here, I really see you going with where life is taking you. It's really going to help you, well, help you help them, help you help her, help Gaia, you know, by just trusting in your intuition a little bit more, trusting in that feeling more than what your head is telling you. Even things like planning a vacation, it could be like, you know, you're at work, you're very career focused, and you're like, I can't go out there, I can't do that, I don't have enough time. But intuitively, you really, really want to go to this place. This place has been flashing up here, there, and everywhere, telling you that it's time to book that trip. And here's the last sign, you need to book that trip. But yeah, this is also just like taking a break, taking time out from the craziness of life, escaping sometimes as well into your, well, escaping into your mind, but into your imagination more so than just your mind. escaping into your imagination, going back to that kind of like childlike wonder that you had when you were younger. Oh, you got 2 42s here. So that could be a significant number for you, as well as number 8. So seeing the big picture, again, Virgo is very much so about the details. And that sometimes the details, sometimes the details can't give us everything that we need. We need to kind of like zoom out a little bit, get some perspective. I think we had the, what's it called, the Hangman card there. So there's that perspective that needs to come in at times. You need to start seeing the bigger picture, not just like one step in front of the other, which actually, to be honest, I don't think you do. I don't think you necessarily, I think you kind of overanalyze each individual step rather than being like, I'm gonna just go here. And if I don't like this spot, then I'm gonna go over there. I feel like for you guys, it might be a bit more like, if I go in this spot, then I'm gonna need to like do this, do this, do this, and then like get this. And then if I don't like it, then I'm just gonna have to do this, this, and this. So I actually saw a tweet about connecting that kind of mindset to an ADHA. Is that how you say it? Why does it sound weird to me right now? ADHD? ADHD. It's because I'm saying ADHA. To an ADHD brain. Where she kind of said how for her going in the shower means she's thinking of each individual step that it takes to go in the shower. So going in the shower for her is not a small task, it's a big task. And maybe some of you guys might have this kind of similar way of thinking and thought processing where everything becomes such a big task opposed to something that is actually or would be smaller to someone else. It becomes so much bigger to you guys because of the way that you process things. So we have the past here as well. Not allowing the past to hold you back. Using the past as a tool to, yes, make better decisions, and better decisions where you're not doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. You are making a different decision in order to see if things would be different, to try and get a different outcome. That is how you help. That is how you use your individual energy and experiences to help the world, the earth, Gaia, my big something. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit oh, I'm gonna get a little bit like, I need to get out of this reading right now. Not to be rude, sorry. Just like I've been sitting here too long so you can see my energy like trying to burst out a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of this devotion message. Let's see what it says. It says, when the Hindu goddess Parvati arises up to greet you, she is acknowledging you for your sincere devotion to personal growth, which I love because that's exactly what we're talking about here. With the world in so much turmoil, okay, synchronicity, scary. Is it scary or is it just tarot? Anyway, with the world in so much turmoil, it's not easy to devote yourself to higher knowledge and a strong faith. But if you are to serve others by being a bearer of love, compassion and light, you must recommit yourself every day. As unwavering in your devotion as Parvati was to Shiva and her goal of bringing peace to the world. It says the great goddess is present when you renew your devotion and make that relationship primary above all else. Then, in all areas of your life, your every choice will be in alignment and in service to this truth. Yeah, that kind of feeling of like, just by focusing on your own self-growth, the way that it's going to like ripple into having such a positive effect on everyone else and everything else. And it's amazing because it all just starts with you. But yeah, that is everything I have, I think. Did I mention lives? Yeah, I did. I think I mentioned all the cards. Oh, I didn't really mention read. What no, I did. I can't remember. Okay, that's everything I have, guys. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. We've got one more pile left to go. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Thanks for watching this reading. If you enjoyed it and it resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. Let me know by commenting down below. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye. Hi there, option number 4. Welcome to your reading. I've already pre-pulled some tarot cards for you. And these are your oracle cards, which we will get into a little bit later on. First things first, I kept singing before we started your pile. Like I was really just getting into some songs. So some of you guys might enjoy singing or music in general. I'm gonna see if we get any messages from this candle. I'm seeing right now is like empty space and a beach as well. So yeah, empty space on it, like just a cleared beach. I know if some of you guys are really like into water, like boats, ships, navigation systems. I'm seeing a compass. Maybe you are like adventurers, people who like to get out and do things. Yeah, it's like these survival skills are really coming to me. So what has something to do with the hands as well? Maybe you're like a crafts person, using your hands a lot in some capacity. Whatever it is, this feels a lot more practical than the last couple of piles. It feels more physical. Might have some Aries energy here. Well, we definitely have air with this Page of Swords, and we have this Three of Swords as well. Again, the Page of Swords is giving me someone who's like an explorer, wants to find out new information, new things, is excited to be provided with new information. Quite Gemini in nature as well. And mercurial. Even with Judgment, you have the angel, I want to say Gabriel. I might just be making that up. I don't know, but we have this messenger angel here. Someone bringing a message, a song. I'm even hearing someone bringing a song. So we do have a similar message to the other piles here with the Three of Swords, with the way in which you help heal the earth is through healing yourself in particular. These feel like different people. I don't know if you have siblings. I'm seeing 3 people. What does that mean? It's like every sword that was put into this heart feels like it was done by a different person or a different situation. It wasn't all the same thing. And it might not even just be your heart as well. It's like helping other people, which is a common theme that we've been seeing. Being a messenger for others of how they can do better, how they can be better. And like actually seeing like those what are they called, gentle parenting people on the internet, and how like they show people how to parent their children in a way that is a lot more beneficial for like their emotional well-being. Yeah, with this Magician here, I feel that it's saying like, hey, I've learned all of this, I've gone on my quests, I've experienced all of my things, and I'm going to show you guys the souvenirs I've taken from my experiences. what I've learned from all the things that I've done. You guys might have a platform as well, because I feel like there's a people here to receive this message that you guys have to share. How you help heal the earth is through sharing this message. The Page of Swords is a messenger as well. I don't feel like you're talking into a void. I feel this might not be currently, but maybe through your experiences you will generate a community of people who will be open to hearing what it is you have to share and say. So I'm just going to use this vice versa to get some clarifiers. Clarify how by choosing this option. Number 4, that was fucked it up. Will it help heal? For the Magician, please. Where's the Magician here? Okay, we have the Star card, which the Star can also talk about being in the spotlight, popularity, very Aquarius energy, having some kind of following. Also the idea of hope, promoting hope. I see like the idea of a water bearer as a channeler of emotions, not necessarily getting deep and getting sucked into the emotions like a water sign might do, but being able to communicate the emotions in a way that is very coherent and comprehensive and like understandable and digestible to a wider population. It's like you don't only, you guys could be a writer as well. Like it's like you don't only, or the way you help heal others is through your writing, is because you're not only communicating your own stories or experiences, but also other people. And maybe that's why I felt this, like this sword were other people. It's like multiple people's wounds. Even this heart, I didn't necessarily feel like it was only your heart that had been hurt, but also that your parents, your family members, your friends, just random people who tell you their life stories, and you put it in such words that I guess it's like, hey guys, look what I've learned. This is what I have to share with you guys. And it's not only what I've learned through my own experiences, but also what the people around me have learned through theirs. And I'm putting it in a way where it's very easily digestible. It's very much so being received in a positive way from the people who are interested in my art or what I'm doing. This could also be with music as well, communicating through your lyrics, different experiences. Clarify where the Three of Swords is here, please. Clarify the Three of Swords for how. So we have the Five of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So even just the way this Five of Cups is about, well, someone kind of looking at, gosh, hold on, kind of looking at their past, the losses that they've had. Then we have this Eight of Pentacles with this little kid here, this adult and child. You can assume it's their child, and them teaching them the skills, teaching them the way of building what they've built for themselves. So it's like communicating to the younger generation, to people who maybe haven't even shared the same experiences, or might share the same experiences. It's a bit like being an agony aunt, or those books that are like aimed at teenagers or young adults to kind of help them through certain situations before they've even experienced them. It's like preventing that from even happening preventing them from experiencing their own losses. However, my judgment is here for those who chose when it comes to how I can help you. I feel like that was actually related, but let's just do that again. Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups coming out here. Clarify where the Page of Swords is here, please. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands and the 8 of Cups. So again, the Queen of Wands make me think of what's the word? Like a very social leader, someone who is very who others are very receptive to. They have a way of being, it's like their natural characteristics that I feel that you guys have, that makes it so that people receive these messages in a way that is in a good way. They receive these messages well, even if they are very harmful, not harmful, but like I don't know, even if they're very difficult messages to receive. You could also be someone who works in like who works around death a lot, has to give bad news. You have a healing energy about you that in turn helps heal others. You have 7 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. From the 7 to the 8, it's making me feel as if like someone who had the experience, they made their decision, because the 7 of Cups can kind of be about like different choices and not knowing which one to pick. So it's almost like this person made their decision, okay, they had that experience, and then they realized that it didn't really fulfill them. There was something missing from it. There's something that they haven't quite got right yet. So they're walking away from the experience, they're moving on to have a different one. And they're okay with that. It's like I've tried all these different things, because you've literally got how perfect these cups are compared to these like very damaged and broken cups over here. I've tried all these things, and this is where it kind of left me. I realized it wasn't for me, and then I moved on for my losses. Or it's almost like it wasn't a loss because I gained experience. But you also don't need to go through it. It's almost like I was telling people, well, you're that person that tells people a really great story, but it's to help them avoid the thing. It's not like, yeah, you should go do it too. It's more like, hey, look, do you know what? I've experienced this, I've done this, and it doesn't really get you that far. So listen to me here. So maybe this will come later on in life, in the way that you really start helping the earth, is first of all by experiencing it, going through it, making the mistakes, if we call them that, and then going ahead and sharing what you've learned, and sharing along the way, obviously, as well. You don't have to wait till you're like 80 years old to like start sharing your experiences with people. And sometimes it might not even be all your experiences, it's putting into words other people's experiences as well. I also see here working with like addicts, working in like kind of drugs, or people with like addictions and things like that. People have really been through like very dark periods of time in their life and got out of it as well. So let's see what else we got. Those who chose option 4, please help. What can they do to help? can they do? Okay. We have the Three of Wands. Have the High Priestess. What can they do to help? Yeah. Gotta catch these cards. Quick reactions. We have the Five of Pentacles. I feel that is a very interesting Five of Pentacles because it's like he's still experiencing this kind of isolation, yet he's in the kind of comfort of his own space. He hasn't necessarily been left out in the cold to suffer, but his choices haven't brought him the happiness or stability that he thought they would, or that he desired from it. Let's get another card, please, for how image number 4 can help those. No, it's going to help the card. Image number 4. Okay. So you actually have the Page of Cups falling out over here, as well as the Hierophant. I feel like with the little things that we have here, this apple representing the wisdom that this Hierophant has gained, the child representing the innocence. So there is a thing about protecting people's innocence here. It's like, yeah, I feel like some of you guys have maybe gone through something really traumatic, like really dark things, and it's like whatever you do now, it's about protecting people from experiencing that. Like there's some things that, you know, people just might have to experience in their lifetime just because, I don't know, because it kind of will help them understand it in a way. But it's like for example, a lot of people who might have been addicts or are addicts, because they say that you're never not an addict, so a lot of people who are addicts, they will talk about the experience that they had, not to say like, oh yeah, you should go ahead and try it for yourself, but it wasn't great for me, but more so to like emphasize that don't even try it, don't even go there because it's not worth it. Like more so that mindset. So I feel like that's where you guys really come from here. You have received so much wisdom. You are what word am I looking for here? Well, you have the Hierophant and the High Priestess here, actually, both in the same position, facing outwards. Well, we are seeing the back view of them. We are seeing everything they have, all the knowledge that they possess. So there is that duality here, the masculine and the feminine energies, which is something I haven't mentioned yet in this pile, but is a theme I've seen as a message from Mother Earth in general, in terms of like wanting people to be balanced within their masculine and feminine energy, as just kind of like a standard, as like a foundation of it all. So that is how you help heal as well, is by coming into that balance of like the divine feminine, the divine masculine, being able to get in touch with the spiritual body and know how to use this wisdom in the physical world, knowing how to apply the wisdom in the right way. So when we have this Three of Wands here, says this card gives some answers to the questions posed on the other side. Balance is important if you want to be firmly grounded and ready to take on the next adventure. The elemental orb symbolizes the balance between water, feeling, and fire, action. So again, we have High Priestess and Hierophant. You are temporarily inclined to prefer action, as evidenced by the fiery wand. Honor that strength and give your whole self to the approaching opportunity. So yeah, it's like you guys, by going out there, which is communicating, is taking action, writing a story is taking action, putting into words your experiences is taking action. So through this process, you are really going to help heal the planet, help heal the earth. I'm going to read this Page of Cups message as well. It says, the young man, still standing at the shore's edge, gazes upon the multitude of stars. The ocean at night has deepened in colour, as has the nave's cloak. A sea turtle surfaces in the dark water. This person's inner self and outer self are pretty much one and the same at this stage. The inner self is just a bit darker. He keeps his moodiness to himself and the more tender emotions that may be too vulnerable to the roughness of the world. The sea turtle offers a clue as to why. Sea turtles are old souls that have been swimming the dark waters for many lifetimes. When it feels threatened, it withdraws into its shell. For this person, it feels safer to stay in the shell. Over time, he may learn that gentleness doesn't mean weakness. The way I really see that relating is the fact that the old soul, really having experienced a lot, also its inner self being a little bit darker. When you have experienced things, you just are a little bit darker. And it doesn't mean to say you cannot shine light on other people or other parts of yourself. It doesn't mean to say you're avoidant of light. But just also, when I'm saying that, I feel as if maybe you don't share all of your experiences, but you share other people's as well. So it's like you are kind of guarding certain parts of yourself. And that's okay. You don't have to be 100% vulnerable, especially if this is online as well. We kind of feel this pressure to like be very vulnerable, be very open online, to like draw more people in, to seem more authentic, when sometimes it's good to keep things to yourself. Sometimes people don't need to know the deepest, darkest depths of us, especially if we are not ready to share it. So let's get on to the oracle cards. Start with these. So we have a chameleon spirit, act as if. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Pigs are very wise animals, often deceivingly wise as well, because a lot of people don't know that. We have the goddess Ocean with generosity. Ooh, we have Aponia with a wise leadership. Ooh, I keep saying ooh. We have a look for fairies, as well as massage. Some of you guys could end up being massage therapists. I know there's actually Dinah's Wisdom. I don't know if that's what her current YouTube name is, but she does tarot readings and she has gone into massage therapy, and she's been talking about how she's realizing how much it is a very healing practice, I guess you could call it. Kind of spiritual practice, you know, not every time being very healing or a light being or spirituality or those different words. It doesn't necessarily mean just reading tarot or, you know, that kind of thing. Like, it can be very practically based as well, like massage therapy. So here with looking for fairies, I almost actually had the words like looking for hope in the dark. So when you're going through these really dark experiences, and even other people are experiencing very dark things, you find a way of looking at the magic of the universe, looking at the hope in the dark, and that's how you help heal it. Wise leadership here. Yep, definitely feel that you guys are leaders within this space. You are guiding people with your wisdom, using your wisdom to your advantage. It's not even like an advantage thing, but it's literally like just who you are, just what you wish to share. I think she's holding a heart. Yes, she is holding a heart, which is quite interesting. And I don't even feel like this is her heart. She's holding other people's heart in her hand. She's a protector of their heart. We have green here symbolizing the heart chakra energy. So through healing your heart chakra, you're really going to help heal the world. Heal the world. Let them know it's Christmas time and heal the world. Let them know it's Christmas time and I'm being drawn to this generosity message, which I don't want to do too much reading, but whatever. It says, there is a universal law that centers on unrestrained generosity and flow. Ocean, I cannot say the word properly, which is my bad. The benevolent Yoruban river goddess, a representation of nourishment, healing, fertility, and prosperity, reminds you that life herself has given to you freely. You've been offered air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and shelter to sleep in. Was yours the power while I was talking about shelter? No, it wasn't. So it's your task to give freely of yourself, no matter how big or small the act, without expectation of receiving anything in return. Some of you guys might have Pisces or Virgo placement, because I feel like you guys, or just even this heavy 6th house energy, I feel like a lot of your life is going to be spent in service to others, which doesn't mean discrediting yourself or, you know, overworking yourself. But where I'm seeing that you're holding other people's hearts in your hand in some way. You're seeing someone working in, I'm seeing a lot of jobs here for you guys, which is not what I saw before. But again, it's very practically based, your pile. I'm seeing someone working in like, what is it called, postnatal? I think so. Like the postnatal section of a hospital or something. Caring for children who maybe premature, caring for new mothers, which is obviously having to be very sensitive, very patient, very loving. Yes. So let's just see this act of if card. We have 14 and 41, and we have 14 twice as well, and another 4 and another 4. So 4s could be very important. I'm hearing 4 as the foundation as well. Oh, right. Yes, some of you guys might have a high level of empathy as well. Because in the protection message of this activist act as if card, it talks about being sensitive and having empathy for others. And it becoming a heavy burden if you don't practice the self-care. As I just kind of previously mentioned, like, yeah, you might spend a lot of your time in service to others in this lifetime, but actually it's not about just like forgetting yourself in the meantime. In the process, that's the word I'm looking for, in the process. And also it says, could it be you're feeling stressed because you've tuned into challenging emotions that aren't even yours? So where I keep talking about, there's like this other people surrounding your reading as well. It's like holding their emotions, holding their heart in your hand. You could physically feel the way people feel, which becomes draining. It's time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. So yeah, I guess this is, it says take a break from social media too. Self-care and a timeout is the answer for this temporary dilemma. So I guess this is just a kind of reiteration that it's important to find that joy, that fun in your own life as well, in order to be the best version of yourself for others and to help other people as well. You have to help yourself first. So that's everything that I have for you. Option number four, sorry. If you enjoyed this reading and you found that it resonated with you, let me know by commenting down below and give this video a thumbs up. If you want to receive any more spirituality or lifestyle content, then you can subscribe down below, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.
Question, tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own